Testing. Testing. Oh, wait a second. Let's see, did we start streaming? Did we start streaming again? I still haven't gone to the trouble of trying to figure out this anymore. But I am going to do the thing. Microphone. Yep, testing, testing, testing. There we go. And would you look at that, would you? Would you look at that? We have now officially got Stream Live going on. Hi, everybody. Oh, you know what? I'm going to treat myself to something really special for this live stream. Oh, you guys are going to be excited about this. I'm going to treat myself to something I haven't done in a live stream yet. 2 live streams and I still haven't done this. I am going to pour myself a glass of water. Don't you just love water? I know I sure do. Water, man, it's just like the purest thing. It's like the life-giving substance. Of course, too much of anything has the ability to, take life away as well. It's that simple philosophy of all things in moderation, right? Too much water, you die. Too little water, you die. It seems like in just about every aspect of life, I mean, I'm personally very much an all things in moderation kind of guy. I do think that that's largely, and I'm not going to say always, because it would be an immoderate thing to say always, but usually, in most things, that whole all things in moderation, it applies to one's benefit. What do you think about that? Am I wrong? Or am I right? It's like too much work. Okay, you work too hard. You work yourself to death. You burn out. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't help you. You work too little, and well, then you don't accomplish anything. You don't get anything done. You probably end up shriveling up and rolling away and, dying because, people need to work to survive and to thrive, really. To thrive, you gotta work. But if you work too hard, you're not gonna thrive. You're just gonna burn yourself out and die. To what other things does that apply? I don't know. I mean, I kind of apply it to sweets. And truth be told, I probably don't need to eat sweets at all. But truth is, it's nourishing to the soul. There's some of these things that are okay, it's not exactly good for you, right? But, hey, if it does something for you emotionally and whatnot, then to have a little bit. Just a little bit that it's not going to kill you, but it's going to serve you in some way. I like having dessert. But I'm not going to eat crap loads of it. Generally my approach with sweets is on weekdays, I try to avoid it. I try to generally cut out sugar. I have a replacement. Instead, I'll have dark chocolate, 85% chocolate, and that's what I have as my dessert or whatever, my satisfying, crave-satisfying thing. What are some things in your life that it's you are overindulging and you need to replace it with something kind of a better option, a healthier option? Not even necessarily healthier, but just you need something to replace it with that would actually be serving you. And again, with a lot of our vices, I don't think that we need to entirely cut out our vices all the time. But generally to cut back, to keep them in check, to keep them from sliding into that territory of being immoderate, overindulged, you're getting too much of it. That's the thing that you want to avoid. And too little of it, though, as well. It's right? People deprive themselves so much that they just kind of suck the joy out of life. It's wow, I'm trying so hard to be so healthy and so clean that I'm stressing out about it. And oh my gosh, if I can't have the perfect diet, I'm gonna die and I'm gonna freak out and I'm gonna panic and I'm gonna have an emotional breakdown. And it's fuck, just eat the crap once in a while. You know, like serve yourself, like give yourself a treat. So, yeah, I tend to be a all things in moderation kind of guy. I think it's great advice. It's that timeless saying, you know, that is generally good for most things. I'm sure that the rule does not apply in some cases, right? Because I never like to say always. It's like 100% of the time, this is the way it is. It's like, no, it's probably not. There's probably something you're not thinking about. So, yeah, I don't know. That was a nice little topic. All things in moderation. I think I've said what I wanted to say about that. So I'm live streaming. And again, just doing it to check off my little habit list. I'm hoping that I'm going to get really good and comfortable at doing this. And I probably will, you know? I mean, I'm already feeling more comfortable at it. It's like, whoa, I am live right now and people could be watching me. Although maybe I feel more secure doing this knowing that, like, probably nobody's watching. I don't know. I mean, if I was doing this on my social media channel, like where all my friends are there and they're all watching, it's like, how would I feel about that? Well, I don't know. Maybe I should try doing that. I should try upgrading from the YouTube streaming to like going on my Instagram and being like, hey, here I am for a live stream, everybody. Can you live stream on Instagram from a camera like this? If I could, that would be sweet. But if I can't, well, I don't know if I want to do it from my phone. Because like phone live streaming, it's just the phone camera kind of sucks. Especially because I've got a Galaxy S7. It's not nearly as good as this camera. Do you want to know what camera I'm using? I'm using the Canon XF100. That's an old camera. It came out in like 2010 or something. But it still holds up, man. It's still serving me well. And you know what? I do gotta say this. I think that in another video that I made, I was talking about kind of the joy of making a purchase that you know is going to, that you know you're going to use a lot. And especially if you get a good deal on that thing. It's like, okay, I got this expensive thing, or I made this investment. Even if it wasn't expensive, it's like, I bought a thing, and I know that I'm going to use this a lot. I'm going to make good use of it, and it's actually going to improve and benefit my life. How great is that? That's a great feeling. But if you spend money on like crap that just piles up and it accumulates to clutter and you don't really use it, but it's kind of just fulfilling your need to like buy stuff and shop, and like this bad habit that you have of shopping for things because you know you need the chemical in your brain that is triggered by shopping and buying new things. That sucks, man. It sucks. Sometimes having more is worse. You get more stuff and you're just like, fuck, well now what am I gonna do with all this shit? It's just accumulated in my space. It's taking up my space and it's not really contributing much to my life. So, on that note, I just want to say this camera was a fantastic purchase. Like, you have no idea how much I've used it. I've used it to make money. I've used it as a source of income through the freelancing that I've done. I've used it for my own independent projects. I've captured a lot of like memories and stuff on this thing. Man, I got great use out of this camera. And it's still going. As I say, like, there's a lot of people who they always want to upgrade their equipment. They're like, oh, well, if it's not new, then it's obsolete. No, it's not. As I say, I've had this thing for, I got it in 2011. And it actually came out in 2010, so it's like a 12-year-old camera. And you know, in this ever-evolving age of technology and things just advancing rapidly, like you'd think, like, man, this camera must be crap now. But I mean, look at this image quality. It's really not half bad. I mean, sure, it's not 4K, But do you need 4K? No, I don't think you'd really do. Especially not for online video. It's nice, you know, it can be nice to have 4K. It's a sharper image and whatnot. There's more detail. But, like, I don't think people mind 1080 still. And the funny thing is, I'm actually streaming this in 720. The settings in my camera have to be... It's a weird thing with this camera, but you can't stream it at a high frame rate, 60 frames, unless it's in 720. So you're actually getting a 720 image here. And I gotta say, I'm looking at it in OBS Studio, and it doesn't look half bad. So cheers to that awesome purchase. Another thing that I bought that was... Again, it's like getting good deals on things that are gonna like go a long way, that you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of. I got a crap load of mileage out of this camera. I bought it used, so it was a pretty good deal at the time. What else was I gonna say about that? Well, that's just a great thing, you know. Making good purchases. I think I was also talking about this microphone in a different video. I bought this lav. It's a wired lav, hooks up to the camera, 20 bucks on Marketplace. And I'm going to use this so much. And I only had to spend 20 bucks. And I'm going to get fantastic audio out of it. That just gives me a certain sense of satisfaction. So really, like, I'd encourage other people to think carefully about what you spend your money on. Is it really worth it? Are you getting any like, how much mileage are you going to get out of this thing? Or are you just buying instinctively, habitually, to serve some like emotional need to have a new thing? I don't know why people always buy like the newest phone every single year. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, different people have different values. There are some people who really care about having the latest technology and trying the latest technology. Like with camera equipment, for instance, there's some people that just want to, you know, they want to try out the latest stuff. And they want to be able to use it and be up on it. And I don't know, I mean, I guess I've deprived myself of that by using old technology for a long time. But, I don't know. Well, it is 4:22 a.m. and I'm kicking myself again because I'm like, fuck, am I ever going to get to bed at a decent hour? Maybe I should just accept the fact that no, I'm not. I'm never going to get to bed at a decent hour. You are a night owl by default. And honestly, like, that kind of serves me. Like, I enjoy being a night owl. I like being up at night. I never want to go to bed. It's the funny thing. I never want to go to bed, but then when I'm asleep, I never want to wake up. You know, it's like you're having a dream, and you're in like that dreamy state, and you just don't want to come out of it. You're like, fuck, I'd just be happy to lay in bed for the rest of my life. But it is nice to wake up and feel excited about doing things throughout the day. That's something that, if you can get yourself to that place, that's a good place to be. Where you're like, yes, morning has come. The new day has come, and I'm like ready and excited to do some project. You know, in my case, it's usually music related stuff. Thebandprofessionalhelp.com. Check it out. That's where my music related stuff is. But yeah, you know, it's awesome when you can be in that state. But anyway, so of course, this is my big live streaming experiment, and I'm just trying to teach myself how to do this stuff and get comfortable and yada yada yada. So I'm gonna check that off the list for tonight, and I'm probably gonna call it a night again. That's been a fun little talk, hasn't it? A very fun talk indeed. So, one of these days I'm going to get at this early enough so that I can actually figure out some stuff. But, yeah, this whole bitrate thing, I don't get it. I'd like to get a little more sophisticated with these live streams, and I feel like I might as well. So anyway, 4:22. I'd like to be in bed before 5. I know that's not going to happen, but I'm going to try. I've got so many things to do. I have to work on recording. I have to work out. I have, like, this is pathetic. This is fucking pathetic. I have to go take a photo of my band, and I got to do some reading. I have to do all of that shit tonight still. Fuck me. Anyway. Well, I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one tomorrow, probably, more than likely. Alright, good night, everybody. Let me just jump over to YouTube and shut this thing down. Oh, I'd better do a signal so that I know when to... So, goodbye.